Hey guys, welcome back to another course update. I am here on Fore Valley and I'm going to explain to you what is going on here on the front of the fairway. Stick around. Alright, so you guys have probably already guessed, we have a massive irrigation leak out here. So I have already done the digging, if you couldn't already tell, and I started that last week because I had to order parts. So upon digging, I found that it's actually the 4-inch main line coming across here. It's going this way, and then a 2-inch line shoots off this way. So I need a part that isn't very common. So when I went to order that last Monday, it wasn't going to get until Friday. Well, I took a little personal time off late last week, so I wasn't here. And when I came in this week, all it has been doing all week is rain. And I'm not coming out here to fix a leak when it's just raining. That's a sloppy mess. What I'm going to do now is uncover this hole, stick the pump in, pump out the water, see what we got. Now I'm not going to fix it today because again, it's Friday and the tee sheet is packed. I probably won't be able to get much done today. So I figured at least get this pumped out. I'm going to shut the water off. We don't need irrigation probably for quite some time. So it'll be all right to shut the water off on this part of the course over the weekend. And that gives time for this to hopefully dry up. And then hopefully Monday, hopefully Monday, I'll be able to come out and fix it. So let's get started. Let's throw the pump in and get this water out of here. All right guys, I got that pump running over on Fore Valley right now. And I've come out here. This is behind 8 Valley Tee Box. This is where one of the valves are. I need to shut this one off, and actually over across the pond is the pump house. That one is shut off. So basically it's going to isolate holes 2 through 7 over here. Let me go ahead and grab the key. Turn it off. And remember kids, righty-tighty. I don't want to crank it down with all my might because I can break this. I've done it before, which causes a whole nother problem. All right, so got this closed. Like I said, the one across the pond over by the pump house is closed. Let's go back to our hole. Guys, I think we have gotten extremely lucky here. All right, so I pumped down the water and cleaned up around the irrigation line. And if you guys can see here, you see that red line from the line coming that way? That is actually where this T fitting is supposed to butt up to. You can actually see this 4-inch line, how it's really bowed. I think we got lucky in the fact that the pressure pushed it far enough away that pipe's actually ready to burst out. And it's no surprise because, as I always say, when you put a thrust block in, don't put in a block of wood. This is what they had in to keep that from moving. I'm sorry, but 125 pounds of pressure in a 4-inch pipe, that little bitty 2x4 isn't going to do anything. So I can't do it today because I have been getting out of the way more than actually working over here. But I think if we clear back the pipe, take a couple spud bars and pry it back in, it should slide right back on, and then we'll put the appropriate thrust block behind it. Which to me, the appropriate thrust block is stone. So, and we'll have to butt it up against virgin ground here. And I really think that's going to solve our problem. At first I thought I felt a crack in that T-fitting, but now that I see where the water's come from, now that I got pumped down, I believe it's just because it moved out. So I think we got lucky there. But anyway, I'm going to call it for today. And for you guys, it's going to be seconds, but I'm going to get back after this Monday morning. Back to the hole on Monday here. You can see how bad this is. Again, we need to get this tee pushed back to this red line. So if I clear out the junk on this side of that pipe and over there, that should give enough wiggle room to where I can put some spud bars in here, pry this back on, put some proper thrust blocks back in. So let's get digging. I'm not really sure what they put these here for. They are literally serving no purpose. Maybe they had extra. Just put it somewhere. To reiterate, these are not glued fittings, so these can move. When you put these underground, when you have appropriate blocking and irrigation setup, they don't move once they're underground. Like if I were to turn the water on now, it'll probably blow apart because there's nothing holding it in place. So they're pretty easy to use. They're very convenient. So in case you guys are wondering, like, how in the heck can you move that around if it's glued? That's not. Oh yeah, look at that. Moved a little bit, huh? See how much that moves? I still got some ways to go, but these high quality stabilization stakes are now on my way. And more. We're getting real serious now. But number 2. All right. It wants to move. It's definitely straighter. Definitely not hitting the mark. What I could always do is put our new thrust block back there, crack the water on, see what happens. Like I said, we got to put a block up against here and up against there to wedge it, so when I do turn the water back on, it doesn't flex back out. I'd like to get more. Maybe I didn't clear out enough. Those are on this side or the other. This doesn't want to go. Let's try this. Let's try it. What's the worst that's going to happen? You guys are going to see a blowout, and it'll be funny. Maybe that'll be good cinema. That works. See if you tied your shoes.
All right, I'm gonna wash my hands. Let's go turn on some water. All right, you guys are either gonna see absolutely nothing or you're gonna see some fireworks. But basically, we're going to be looking right in here for any activity. I got the water cracked, not a whole lot. You don't want to just crank her open, then you will blow something out. Might take several minutes, so sit back and relax. Well, boys and girls, as you can see the little whirlpool going. So what we did earlier actually worked. I actually adjusted the pipe a little bit more to where it sealed up, but there is a crack in the tee. It's actually, so you got right here and right here, it's actually on this back left corner. It is official. I have to cut this and replace it. Luckily I got those parts, but not as lucky as I thought we were going to be. So what I'm going to do now is we got to give the greens over here some water, so we're going to run a little bit while we have water, and then we're just going to shut back off because I got some more digging to do, and I'll continue it tomorrow. Wow, that surprisingly worked better than I thought. Okay. So you see that little line right there? That's a crack, and you can actually see it. Let's see if I can angle it right there. So that's our culprit. I'm going to build the replacement part to go in here, and yeah, when I get back we'll suck out all this water, put it back together. Hopefully all goes smoothly. So I went back to the shop to build our repair, and come to find out I ordered the wrong part. So as I put this in, I'll explain as I go what happened. But basically, the line going this way I thought was a 2-inch pipe. Actually turns out it's a 2.5. So the coupling I bought won't work. However, because my irrigation supply company is awesome, they were able to gather some parts together, because like I said, this is a custom piece, or not custom, but just a rarer piece. And in order for me to get the right size, I would have to wait 5 days again. And guess what? I'm not waiting 5 days because we got an open hole. So anyway, we were able to kind of piece some things together, and got ourselves a Frankenstein piece, but regardless, it should work. So I have already beveled the edges here for this to be able to slide on. This white stuff I'm putting on, this is the grease, but the mud actually acts kind of as a grease, so I really kind of don't need this. But anyway, now I'm going to use these spud bars here and pry this iron fitting on.
There we go. That's how you do it. There we go. That easy. I gotta put the coupling in here, tie it into that line. When that's done, put some thrust blocks in, turn the water on, be done. Put some grease on this thing. Move this up. The moment you've all been waiting for. Frankenstein. Edgar Winter. Oh, where's my persuader? Hey! Ooh. Right there. Always use a block of wood. Evens out the pressure. Guess I'd even explain the Frankenstein piece. So, like I said, to connect this piece to this piece, this is 4-inch. So 4-inch down to 2-inch. Now, it's because I thought wherever the pipe was I pulled out, I thought the line going this way was 2 inches. Now, in my defense, the water was completely, when I was ordering the parts, the hole was filled completely up with water. So I had to stick my arm and pretty much my head down in here just to feel. And the difference between 2 and 2.5 inch pipe isn't much. So I guessed wrong. So what we did is I basically bought a bushing to go from 2-inch to 2.5 inch. And really this little constriction here isn't enough to affect the flow. So if it did, I would have had to wait and get the proper part, because just because it's a pain in the butt that I misordered something, I still want to do it right. And I didn't have to order that part. Thank God, because like I said, that would have been more waiting. Now I'm going to try to quickly put this on because the golfers have arrived. And this is literally the last step. Perfect. Now the last thing to do before I turn the water back on is throw some thrust blocks back there. That should be good. Try move now. Whew. Tie your shoes. All right. After 72 months of doing this, I think we've finally done it. Now the fun part, turn on the water.